Welcome back to our channel, where we share stories that inspire kindness and hope. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing family of compassionate people who believe in making a difference, no matter how small. Today, we're taking you on a heart-touching journey that shows the power of empathy and why helping those in need can create ripples of change that go far beyond what we can see. The morning started like any other day, the streets busy with cars rushing by, people glued to their phones, and life moving fast. But in the corners of the city, away from the tall buildings and busy shops, there were those who had nothing but a small cardboard box to sit on and a worn-out blanket to cover themselves. The world around them seemed to have forgotten they existed. Among them was an old man, his clothes torn, his hands trembling from hunger and exhaustion. He sat quietly at the side of a busy road, clutching a small plastic bag with a few coins he had managed to collect over the past 2 days. His eyes told a story of struggle, of days spent without a proper meal, and of nights spent in cold darkness. As people walked past, some glanced at him briefly, but most ignored him completely, lost in their own worlds. Not far from him, a woman carrying a small child was sitting near a trash bin. She had been searching for anything edible, any leftovers someone might have thrown away. The child was crying softly, tugging at her tattered clothes, and she whispered soothing words, even though she had nothing to offer. Hunger had become a normal part of their lives, but a mother's heart still ached to see her child suffer. That morning, a young man named Amir was walking down the same street. He was on his way to meet a friend when he noticed the old man sitting silently. Something about the man's frail figure and hopeless gaze made Amir stop in his tracks. He reached into his pocket, pulled out some money, and thought about simply handing it to him and leaving. But then he realized that money could be easily spent, and the man might still go hungry that night. Amir decided to do something more meaningful. He walked into a small restaurant nearby and ordered several boxes of fresh food, rice, chicken, vegetables, and some bread. He also bought bottles of water and juice. With his arms full of food, he returned to where the man was sitting. The old man looked up in surprise as Amir knelt down and gently placed the food beside him. "Please, eat," Amir said softly. The man's eyes filled with tears as he whispered a shaky thank you. He immediately opened one of the boxes and began to eat, his hands trembling as he took his first bite. People walking by stopped and watched, some with curiosity, others with guilt. But Amir didn't stop there. He looked around and saw the woman with the crying child. Without hesitation, he walked over to her, knelt down, and handed her a bag full of food and a bottle of water. The woman's face lit up with relief, and tears streamed down her cheeks as she hugged her child tightly. She couldn't find the words to thank him, but her eyes said everything. Amir spent the rest of the afternoon walking around the area, handing out food to every person he saw who needed it. Some were sleeping on sidewalks, some sitting quietly in alleys, and others simply wandering, too weak to ask for help. Each time he handed someone food, their faces lit up with gratitude. For many of them, this was the first warm meal they had had in days. What Amir didn't realize was that his simple act of kindness was inspiring others. A man driving by stopped his car, got out, and asked Amir what he was doing. When Amir explained, the man nodded and said, "Wait here." He left and returned with 2 big bags of groceries and joined him in handing them out. Soon, a small group of strangers had gathered, all bringing what they could: water, bread, snacks, and blankets. Together, they turned a quiet corner of the city into a place of hope, even if just for a day. Word spread quickly, and a few shopkeepers from nearby stores came out with extra supplies, handing out drinks and sandwiches. One woman even offered warm tea to the homeless people gathered around. What started as one man's act of kindness had turned into a small movement that touched dozens of lives. Among those helped that day was a young boy, no more than 10 years old, who had been living on the streets for months. When Amir handed him a plate of food, the boy hesitated, unsure if it was really for him. When Amir smiled and said, "This is for you," the boy's face lit up with a mix of relief and happiness. He quickly sat down on the pavement and started eating, tears streaming down his cheeks. As the sun began to set, Amir looked around at the small crowd of homeless men, women, and children, all eating and laughing together. For a moment, the harshness of their reality seemed to fade away. There was warmth, there was hope, and there was humanity. Amir didn't have much himself, he wasn't rich, but he believed that kindness didn't need wealth, it just needed a willing heart. That night, as Amir walked home, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He hadn't solved the world's problems, but he had made a difference in the lives of those people, even if only for a day. And sometimes, that's enough to remind someone that they are seen, that they are loved, and that they matter. This story is a powerful reminder that every act of kindness counts. You don't need a lot of money or resources to change someone's life. A simple meal, a bottle of water, or even a kind smile can mean everything to someone who feels invisible. The world is full of people who need help, but it's also full of people like you and me, who can offer that help. So the next time you walk past someone in need, don't just look away. Take a moment to ask yourself what you can do. Even the smallest gesture of compassion can create a ripple effect, inspiring others and making the world a kinder place. Thank you for watching this video. If this story touched your heart, make sure to share it with your friends and family. Let's spread this message of kindness and remind everyone that we have the power to make a difference. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below about the acts of kindness you've witnessed or been a part of. Together, we can create a world where no one feels forgotten.